want to start off by apologizing for not uploading last week. I had a lot of family problems, health problems, and a bunch of other things just stacking up on top of each other, and I didn't feel like I could get out the best quality videos that I know I can put out for you guys, and I just didn't feel that that would be right. So again, I do apologize for that. It did feel really weird not to be making videos during the week, but that's beside the point. And on a more positive note, I did gain a few subscribers while I was away, so that is good to see, so thank you guys for that. And my last video got a lot better feedback than I thought it would. I mean, I didn't even think it was going to get up to 30 views. I just thought it was going to get like maybe 5 or 6 because it's not a relevant topic whatsoever. But actually the comments were really positive on it on the few that were left. So thank you guys who did comment on it. And yes, Zaptai will be missed. But moving away from child-touching bears, I wanted to talk about the other reason that I didn't upload last week, and if you didn't read the title of this video, then just read the title of the video and you'll find out. And as anybody who spends any amount of time talking about YouTube drama would know, that this past week or so has been absolutely fucking insane with everything that is going on, from PewDiePie to KSI and Joe Weller. I don't even know who Joe Weller is, and I don't really give a shit about KSI, so I'm not going to be talking about that. And honestly, I'm probably not going to really talk about any of the major stories that are going on right now, except for one, because I find that I have something to say on that. But everything else has just been so blown out of proportion and so over talked about by every single person on the entire website itself that there's just nothing left to say on it. Yes, PewDiePie said a word that is, yeah, he couldn't come back from that one, and everybody's got their dick rock hard to talk about it. So I'm just going to steer clear of that. And yes, KSI and Joe Weller are gonna fight because KSI can't keep himself out of the goddamn news because he's that much of an attention whore. We get it.
You're a fucking idiot.
So I'm gonna keep the topic down to a small portion just to talk about the story a little bit and give my opinion, and then go into the other half of the video. So just cue the shitty iDubbbz segue. Now, like I said, ever since PewDiePie said the nigger word, everybody's had their dick rock hard to talk about the subject, whether it's Philip DeFranco, Keemstar, Scares, and now H3H3, I guess, has said quite a few words about it, and people are not very happy about it whatsoever. I really don't have to give any backstory on who H3H3 is because we all know who Papa Bless is at this point if you spend any sort of time on the internet, and if you don't know who H3H3 is, then how the fuck did you even find my channel? But if you actually don't know who Ethan is, just think Vape Nation or any of those random memes that he's been involved in. Now, Ethan, outside of both of his channels, he also has a podcast known as the H3 Podcast, a YouTuber with a podcast. How original can you get? I mean, you should check out the Cuncast. There's another episode coming out soon. I'm not on it, but you should still listen. But on the most recent episode of the podcast, he talked about the PewDiePie situation, which is rightfully so, as everybody else has been. And he was also saying things like, you know, it's indefensible for PewDiePie, and, you know, there's nothing right about what he did or anything like that. But he was also saying, man, he just really seemed comfortable using that word, you know, he just felt really okay with it. Now, on that note, I do completely agree with Ethan. There really is no defense for using a word like that, and while I can't control what PewDiePie says or does in any way, shape, or form, it still does look bad for him in that situation and in that context. But the issue people are having with Ethan is the fact that he said he was really comfortable using that word. You shouldn't be comfortable using that word like that, when on the podcast involving iDubbbz, they both exchanged using that word a lot, and Ethan used it even more so than Ian did. Now, I understand there's a whole bunch of issues about context and how he said it and blah, 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 things like that, but that's not the thing. People are calling Ethan a hypocrite for saying that, man, he used that word. I can't believe he used that word, when he was saying it, and as Ian said, you were using that very liberally. So that episode of the podcast where Ethan was talking about that whole situation, it made a fair amount of dislikes, and it was even surprising for H3H3 because he's a very loved YouTuber in the entire YouTube community as a whole. But I can completely understand why people would call him a hypocrite. You know, it does kind of look hypocritical for him to make a point like this with a past such as his. But the problem that now has arisen is that he's blaming Keemstar and Scares for calling him a hypocrite. I'm not going to go into the whole Twitter situation that Keemstar created, you know, by posting video after video after video, and I'm not going to talk about Ethan's tweets or anything like that, but the point is that neither Keemstar nor Scares called him a hypocrite in any of their videos talking about him, and I'm pretty sure there was only about one apiece. Unless you're talking about Keemstar's Twitter, in which there's like 1,000 and a half. But after all of this was going on, Ethan started to tweet out things like, you know, this is what journalism does and things like that. And he even went as far as to start unfollowing people like Scarce and Keemstar, and he started to block people over this situation. And that's pretty much where I drew my line, and I had to add this to this video. The issue with unfollowing people and blocking people when it comes to a situation like this is really only digging yourself deeper in the hole, and that is what is going on for Ethan currently. People are saying, oh, well, he was drunk, or he's been drinking, or he's having mental problems, or things like that. I don't really know the full truth. I just know that it's not very good to start blocking people for sharing a differing opinion from yours. Because in the end, Ethan is representing a lot more than just himself. He's representing H3 as a brand completely. He's representing his podcast, he's representing both of his channels, and he's representing his wife and himself as well. So to take steps like this is basically the equivalent of plugging your ears and blocking out anybody else who disagrees with you. Now, as far as where this situation will go, I'm really not sure, because I just hope that Ethan puts out a video, explaining his whole side, explaining why he's taken the steps that he has, because I am very confused at why he's done what he's done. But for now, that will just have to wait. Now, for the other portion of this video, I wanted to talk about YouTube drama or internet drama as a whole, either way you want to say it, because a lot of people come to me and they're like, well, I don't really care about YouTube drama. That's only YouTube drama. I don't really follow that kind of stuff. I mean, why does it even matter? And the simple fact is that it doesn't matter to an extent. A lot of people say, well, you don't have to pay attention to it, you don't have to watch it or anything like that, but when you spend as much time on YouTube as a lot of content creators do, it does become a very important factor in your life, because for a lot of people, it is their job, it is their primary source of income, so any changes that could possibly affect it by any YouTube drama, well then that's where internet drama does find its importance. So if you just want to say fuck off to the drama and not watch Scarce or Keemstar or any channels like that and just enjoy YouTube for the videos, then that's perfectly fine. You're absolutely allowed to. Or if you want to watch my videos just to enjoy them, then that's allowed too. I mean, you're perfectly capable of doing so. But I think the thing is that YouTube does have a lot of quote-unquote celebrities, and when stories happen in their life, people do want to know about them, so it's kind of nice to have channels like Keemstar or Scares to talk about these situations, and people can follow them, and if they have interest, they can look at them. If they don't have to. But there's a lot of people out there who do like to be updated on what's going on YouTube, whether it's the business side or the social drama side or anything like that. In any sort of community, there's always something going on. So when there's news, drama, and stories to be told, there will always be people to talk about them and tell these stories. People focus their entire channels on talking about trending topics, or people rely on the news being consistently uploaded so they know what to talk about next as far as keeping any sort of relevancy. And that's not even a stab at anybody or anything like that. People just like to devote their channels to YouTube drama, and that's perfectly okay. So for the people who are saying, oh, well, that's not real news, that's just YouTube drama, why would you want to talk about that? That's not real news or anything like that. Well, then just take that opinion and shove it up your ass, because I really don't care. So I see it as long as there are stories to talk about and as long as Scarce orbits around the planet, there will always be YouTube drama. And once again, to quote Jack's Films,
is more popular than content.
I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please leave a like. It would help out a lot. Comment down below if you have some shit to say. Share this channel if you think somebody else would enjoy it, and if you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. It feels very good to be back to making videos. I will see you guys all in the next one. Peace.